Alrighty, guys, welcome everyone to Simply Grace and Grits March team meeting. There's a few times today I had a question what month it was. I feel like January was so slow, February was so fast. I'm like, we are still in March, right? Yes, we're halfway almost through March tomorrow. So for our newbies, this is just something we do every month. We get together, we do shout outs, we do announcements, we have some type of training, and then it's usually always recorded, but it's really just a time to show up for your team and get together, whether you're a hobbyist, you're doing this full-time, you're doing this part-time, whatever it may be. We always try and keep the content towards something that everybody can use in their business. And so if you're a leader, you've probably heard a lot of the things that we talk about in our team meetings because you've been around a while. And if you're brand new and you keep showing up, you're going to hear repetitive things as far as training. And that's why we try and switch it up with people who are speaking, and just keep it livened up here. So first things first, we'll start with our February promotions. In February, we actually had a lot of certified consultants promote, which is super exciting. If you're brand new, certified is your first promotion. That's when you hit 1K sales collectively. So there's no time frame on that. But the people who hit certified in February were Haley Sturm, Tiffany McGuire, Kayla Schaefer, April Dickerson, Sierra Davis, Carol Claridge, and Sherry Dale. So congratulations to all of y'all. Your first promotion of hopefully many. And if it's something that you want to be a certified consultant, keep on rocking it out. You got that 25% commission for the rest of your life in Cincy. And then our star consultant that promoted was Stephanie Sandgren. So congratulations to Stephanie. She is well on her way. She actually double promoted to star, I'm pretty sure. So that's super exciting. So congratulations to her. Our February top 10 PRV. Number 1, Jennifer Peterson. Number 2, Stephanie Sandgren. Number 3, Sarah Evans. 4, Chelsea Geller. 5, Stephanie Schroeder. 6, Haley Loggins. 7, Megan Moody. 8, April Dickerson, 9, Meredith McCowan, and 10, Ashley Crabtree. So congratulations to y'all. You know, this top 10 in our team is not taken lightly. We have a very strong, large, all the things in our team. And, you know, to hit that top 10, it's a pretty big deal. So if you see those names consistently coming up, they really are working their business consistently. So congratulations to all of them. A lot of times I'll hear people say, oh my gosh, can't believe I got top 10. I'm like, you're at like 1,500 PRV. Why would you not be? you know, 2K is always our goal, but y'all got to make sure you're giving yourself grace, simply grace and grit with your business. A lot of y'all are doing some really big things, and we got to keep those blinders on to what we're doing and not comparing ourselves to other people, either in the leaders group or directors group or whatever it may be. Our top sponsors last month were Jennifer Peterson and Stephanie Sandgren. They both sponsored 2 people. Most active frontline for our team, Sarah Evans with 6 active frontline, which is amazing. And Hannah Garreau and Meredith McCowan both had 4 last month. So congratulations to them. Active frontline is a really big, it's a really, I don't want to say a really big deal, but it's a really big factor in a good foundation for a business. Okay. So if you're wanting to build a big foundation, a strong foundation, a big team is what I meant to say, that foundation of that active frontline is where it's going to all start. Okay. So make sure if you're building your team, that's your focus, not just frontline, but active frontline. Our team sales in February were $62,892, which is absolutely amazing. Y'all continue to blow me away with the sales, and it really is it's just what we do. It's just what we do for our new people. Okay, so for announcements, we have our join special going on. When that at the beginning of the month, when that first came out, I did mention, you know, something with sponsoring people is a decision. Sometimes people will sponsor people accidentally. Some people, it'll take them forever to sponsor their first person. You have to remember in this business that all of us are at so many different points in our life, in our business, what we want in our business. So again, it kind of goes back to those keeping the blinders on and focusing on what you want in your business. You know, something that you may hear myself say, or some of our other leaders or directors. We have some directors on here tonight. Some of the things that you may hear them say, you may question, excuse me, you may say, oh, well, I'm not sure that's for me. And if it's not for you, that's fine. You know, we all want different things. This is my full-time business. We have people who are doing this just for fun. We have people who are trying to get it into a full-time business. And then we have a few people that are just doing their best and having fun. And that's okay. Okay. We all have a place on this team. But the most important thing with all of that is just communication with your leader on where you are in your business. Okay. Just as important as the people that are doing this full time are the people that are doing this as a hobby. Everyone has a place on our team. Okay. Excuse me. So with the join special, I want to just say that, you know, if you do want to be a leader, if you do want to sponsor people, a join special is a huge opportunity to do it. Okay. We haven't had one in a while. A lot of people don't like join specials. A lot of people love them. It really is, I think, a mindset thing, and how you choose to use it, how you choose to share it with people, how you choose to advertise that is super important. Lord have mercy. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. It's super important because what you advertise with this business, or how you put it out there that we have a join special right now, is the type of people that you're probably going to have joining you, right? So if you have people joining your team with this special and you're offering it to them as just getting paid off your purchases, you can't necessarily want them to jump right in and book 5 parties, right? And we have to have that expectations for ourselves. Can those things change? Absolutely. But you have to remember to have those conversations and keep that in mind, because each person is doing this for a different reason. So the join special is still here. It is limited. It's while supplies last, that kit. So it could go away tomorrow. It could go away the next minute. We never know. And make sure that you're sharing that with people too who are interested. I always like to see join specials as a follow-up. So very rarely, I mean, I share it with everyone, but I always see it as using it to follow up with a conversation I've had with someone before. And that's why it's super important to ATF, Ask Track, follow up with sponsoring. So then you have this long list of people that you've actually already asked, that you can now, that you've tracked, that you can now follow up and say, hey, I know we talked about this a few months ago. Just want to let you know there's a joint special, $25. And then you can go into your spiel, right? So use that to your advantage. And I know some people are trying to use it to their advantage. Sponsoring is not something that happens overnight. So you may get lucky with a join here or there, but sponsoring is something that you have to consistently do and consistently put in, work into, plant those seeds, harvest those seeds, keep harvesting those seeds, keep harvesting those seeds, keep harvesting those seeds, it literally is that. The people that have the highest active frontline in our group can tell you that is exactly what this is. Think about how many times your sponsor asked you. Okay. So put yourself in that position, right? So we have to keep that in mind while we're doing this. And I know that it's hard. It's easy to feel burnt out or feel like I've asked everyone, or I'm trying and it's just not working. We all go through the dry spells. We all go through the hard times in our business. If it was easy, literally everyone would do it, and it probably wouldn't exist, because if it was easy, then it wouldn't be a thing, right? I am sorry that I'm so stuffy right now. Okay, who knows what's happening tomorrow? Anybody know what's happening tomorrow? Put it in the chat. What's happening tomorrow? Please, someone know. Yes. Sfr registration. Guys, I literally talk about this every single month. It's in every single email you've probably ever received from me. It is our Cincy family reunion, and this year it's going to be in person. I can't believe it. I'm kind of scared to say that. But that's the plan right now. So we're just rolling with it, right? So SFR registration opens tomorrow. This is huge for a lot of different reasons. If you're brand new, or even if you're not brand new, you may not know exactly what SFR is, because it's been really different the last 2 years. Okay. I have only ever been to one SFR in person. Okay. That was in Austin, Texas. It was like, I literally just got chills. Not just business changing, life changing. Okay. And then COVID happened. And then Cincy just has been doing their best with keeping things as normal as they can, with it being virtual. But as of right now, full-fledged ahead, we are having SFR, which is for all of our consultants to come together. And this year it's in Salt Lake City, Utah. Is actually scheduled there 2 years ago. So it's the same event that hopefully we can now do in person. That is, the registration opens tomorrow. Okay. They usually, the registration usually runs between $250 and $350. Just to put that out there to let y'all know, it is a multi-day event. You, and do not quote me on any of this. Like I said, I've only been to one in person, but in the past, how these have usually gone is you get product, you have giveaways, you have outbreaks, you have a consultant store you can go shopping at. And I'm pretty sure the product that we got in Austin, and Katrina, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was pretty close to the price of registration itself, because that's how much product they give you. Yes. Okay. So it is an investment. It is not a small cost. 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago, 3 years ago. That's crazy. It was something that we had to plan for all year. We were not financially in a spot where we could just be like, yes, you're going to Austin, Texas. Okay. So I know it's an investment, but I can 110% promise you that it will be worth it. Nothing can buy it. Nothing can compare to it. Nothing can explain it until you actually go and experience it in person. So that opens tomorrow. Registration, just like any other event with Cincy, there's probably a cap on it. So just keep in mind that if you're wanting to go, you need to schedule to sign up once you know you're going. Okay. There was a news article on there today. Tomorrow on the Cincy Family Consultant Facebook page at 7 a.m. Pacific time, our director of the Cincy events, his name is Eldon Gale. He will be going live and giving us a rundown of everything before registration opens. Okay. And that's pretty much what the article said. If you want to go check it out, you can, but he will be giving you some of the specifics of frequently asked questions. Okay. He may include how much it's exactly going to be. If that hasn't been shared yet, I haven't seen that yet. He's going to just give you all the details that you could possibly need. The other part of that is once registration opens, once you go into the event, you'll be able to see all of the details as well, start to finish, what to expect. They'll probably already have the schedule up to what's going on what day. Literally all your questions should be able to be answered tomorrow. If they are not, put in a ticket with events on your workstation and they'll be able to help you out. Okay. Anything that's shared there is all I know. So if you ask me, I'm going to send you right to what I just said, which is to the events ticket section to ask them, because everything that they give out tomorrow is what the information that I have. I don't have any special input on that. So really take the time to read that. Take the time to read the cancellation policy on that. May something happen, whether it's COVID related or not. And I hope to see a lot of you there. If you're planning on going, put it in the chat. Let me know you're going. I am definitely going. Eric is definitely not. Army, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm definitely going. And I know a lot of our directors are going. Paulina, awesome. Sylvia, Ashley, Katrina, Bart, and Isla. Awesome. So yeah, make it a, oh, Jennifer's going. Yep. I hope to see a lot of you there, guys. Just know that there's also going to be a virtual option, which is something they have never, ever done, I don't think, that I know of, offer an in-person and a virtual, okay? So there will be a virtual option. I don't know exactly all the details of that, but having that opportunity to still be able to experience in some pieces will be helpful, but I promise you it won't be anything like it would be in person. Okay. I do know that they will be following guidelines for the mask, whatever it may be at the time in Utah. Okay. So just keep that in mind as well. Yes, the military is a real thing, but even when we've scheduled for it, we literally moved to New York in July, and we knew for it for a year, but we literally planned for it, and we didn't even, with a lot of you are military, so you don't ever have really the move date until like a month before. We still made it work. We still made sure I was there. Just because it was just that important. I went to SFR as a STAR consultant. Next SFR was a SD, and the next SFR was SSD. That should show you the proof of what can happen with these events. So make sure, if you cannot be on at 7 a.m. Pacific, which is what, 9 Eastern? Now I'm all messed up with the time change. 10, whatever. Y'all Google it, okay? Because that's what I do literally every single day. Pacific to Eastern. Okay. If you can't make it on, there will be a recording on there, so make sure you check that out with the details, and then registration will open and everything will be in there. All right, 10 o'clock Eastern, that is. Okay, that's what Jennifer says. So if she's wrong, y'all get her. All righty. So tonight I say we, but really Ashley and I are going to be talking about daily habits in our business. Okay. So Ashley is, she thinks she's a newer consultant, but she's one of our highest leaders. She's really stepped in once she started Cincy. She really started with a bang. She literally was very, I don't think what she's doing now is maybe what she expected when she started. So I love to see just the involvement with people when they come into Cincy. She really has hit the ground running. When she talks, you need to listen. If you don't have a notebook, you need a notebook, because you need to take notes, because just her perspective on things is different than a lot of us here. She's very successful in her business. She has a lot going on, just like we all do with our families. Busy with work, busy with children, busy with husbands, busy with dogs, all of the things. And she's going to be talking to y'all about daily habits. And I'm just going to let her take it away. Ashley Crabtree.
It's a lot of pressure.
No pressure. None at all.
No, I appreciate the opportunity. This is like my least favorite thing to do, but also I'm glad I get the opportunity to do it. So hopefully it won't be as painful eventually. So thank you. I appreciate that. As Whitney said, my name is Ashley. I am a STAR consultant. I've been doing it just over a year now, and said no, or Whitney's my sponsor. I did say no to Whitney from the get-go, and kind of like a lot of us, but love the products. So I jumped on it eventually to just get paid off my own purchases. That's all I was interested in. I have friends that were already buying stuff. So I was like, well, I'll hit friends and family up. And it just kind of took off. Literally, like I put all the time on this page, like share. And that literally has been like the ticket to the success I've had so far. I mean, I've still got a long ways to go, but literally the products do sell themselves because they're awesome. And our family uses them literally every single day. And so I just put it out there. So we live in North Carolina, in Bahama. If you don't know where that is, if you've heard of the Raleigh-Durham area, we're like in the northern part of Durham County. Married to a great guy, almost 17 years now. He is fully supportive of this Cincy side hustle. It's not my full-time job, but that is eventually my goal. I would love for that to happen. So I do put a lot of effort into it, even though, as I'm about to let you know it's not like step by step scheduled, but I do put a lot of heart into it. So, and I'll be honest, when Whitney asked me to speak at this meeting, like my first instinct, I didn't say it, but I thought it was like, no, 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 no. Like, I was just looking on here a few seconds ago and I'm like, director, like there's so many people on here that I've taken so much from. I'm like, what do I have to share that these people don't already know? So it's really intimidating, but I appreciate the opportunity. The second thing I thought was it was a training that Katrina actually did that I watched, and she was pretty much like, if your sponsor or your director, your SSD, whoever it is, if they ask you to speak or they ask you to train or do whatever, do it. Like, don't think about it. You just have to do it. And so I did immediately commit to Whitney. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was panicking like internally, but so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So here I am. And if you guys get something out of it, I'm super excited. But I know this is a lot for me to grow my own self and my business. So trusting the leaders and trusting the process, because I want to grow and they've already paved the way for us. So as I said, I'd like to say I have a really nice set schedule of things that I do every single day, or like I have an outline like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't. I do here, but it doesn't always flow that way. I do have like the printouts, like our team page is loaded with stuff. I mean, I've got schedules from you guys, other directors and things like that. Our Cincy page is full of information, Power Hour. I mean, there's information everywhere of all different ways that we can create daily habits and systems that work for us. That being said, my goal is to have a set schedule that works for my business. And what's going to work for my business is not necessarily going to work for yours, and vice versa. And there are certain things I do every single day that are not negotiable. And then things that I do every single week. So though I don't have that breakdown like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these things I'm doing every single day. And they're basic, but I just wanted to mention them because I feel like consistency at these things are really what's going to help your business take off. So first things first, I post in my VIP, in my business page every single day. Now, some people have different pages. Some people have VIP pages that are strictly for purchasing customers. And I know some consultants have business pages that are pretty much for anybody, whether they've purchased or not. So that's just a personal preference for each consultant. Mine is kind of a combo. I've got people in my page that are regulars that purchase all the time. And then I've got people on that page that have never purchased at all, but they'll comment or they'll like things. So I decided from the get-go, forget doing, like, there's no set thing you have to do in your business. Do what works for you. So for me, it's one page. It's, I think there's, I'm going to say 250 people in the group. And it's a pretty active group. And I'm just going to keep fishing and putting the information out there and hoping those that haven't purchased are going to bite, because I know they're watching. I can see the likes and the comments. So my page, just to kind of wrap that all up, is a pretty universal thing. But I literally post every single day. I do not miss a day, no matter what. If you don't have time to do that first thing in the morning, Facebook's pretty awesome. As you all know, you can schedule your post. So make a habit of that. You've got to figure out what works for you and your schedule, because I know all of us have crazy lives. For me, I do try to get up and do it every day, because that's one of the first things I do in the morning before things get crazy, is kind of dive into the Cincy world, catch up on a few things. So that's a priority for me. And my customers know in my group that I'm going to post every single day. So they expect it every morning without fail. So I also every single day post on Facebook and Instagram. I do a story. And I know there's been talk about reels and things like that. And I remember Sylvia talking about they're a little more time consuming. So I have not really jumped into the reel thing yet, but stories are pretty awesome. You can see who's watching. And so I really try to consistently do that every single day, because you're obviously reaching people not in your VIP or business page. And then also posting on my personal page, which I did not do at first because it was just really weird and awkward. And Whitney's like, post on your personal page. So I do try to mix it up now and post on my personal page. So I try to put it out there pretty much everywhere. So that's every day. And then checking my workstation. It sounds silly, like we all should be doing that, but we all should be doing that like multiple times a day if you can. This company, like Cincy, blows me away with the workstation. They literally hand us, I mean, literally everything you would need. If you had our directors and upline and everything are amazing at spelling things out for us, but the information is, a lot of it's there if you just look for it. The marketing tab, the images, like they hand us everything. So use your workstation. I check mine first thing in the morning. Without fail, the first thing I always look at is my personal PRV. I want to know where I'm at, and asking myself, am I where I want to be? Am I where I need to be? Kind of gauging where I'm at in the month, because my business and my personal PRV have to be a priority. I'm looking at my team, their PRV. Are they active? Near promotions? Are there things like I need to shout out? I'm looking at that first thing in the morning, because I want to be able to let them know, not that I'm watching them, but that I care and I want to cheer them on and celebrate those milestones. So I really try to keep up with that. And then I know a lot of people track numbers, and that's one of my goals, is to really specifically like write down or have a process to track these numbers. I do look at them every single day and kind of mentally make notes of who's where. But I know many trainings I've watched and listened to talk about specifically tracking those numbers. So that's my goal for the next few months, is to get better at that as my team grows. Let's see. And I'm looking at my notes. Sorry, y'all. The order history tab. So I look at that constantly. I feel like I probably look at that more than a lot of things. I want to know who's ordering. I want to know when those orders have shipped. Like sometimes I'll see a ticket printed. Don't assume that bad boy went out the next day. I mean, you hope it does, since he does a good job, but I like knowing who's receiving their stuff, who has definitely received it. I mean, you guys know the battle with our mail system and shipping and things like that. That's our responsibility to stay on top of that for our customers. So if you don't want to know what's going on, that's a problem. So check your order history and just make sure you're staying on top of staying pretty much informed. Are things getting where they need to be in a reasonable time? And let your customers know that you're looking out for them. So the product status list. So there are certain times during the week that this updates, and I still check it every single day because I want to keep track again mentally of everything that's coming and going. And then of course the news tab, but we are blessed in this group to have people that really stay on top of the news tab, and 9 times out of 10, you can hop on this page and you're going to know when there's something new or there's something coming. So that's pretty awesome. And then I wanted to mention another thing every single day is jumping on Simply Grace and Grit. I am guilty. I do not post as much as I should. I'm working on that, but I do always show up. And if you're a director, of course, you have your own team pages, but I do remind my team, if you are not a director, Simply Grace and Grit is the priority, period. So I did start a smaller team page a few months ago for my growing team and have stressed to them that that's not a priority at all. Like Simply Grace and Grit is the priority, to contribute, to show up. You guys are here at the meeting, you're showing up. So if you show up for your leaders, they're going to show up for you. There's never been a time that I have reached out to Whitney that she did not reach back out to me and help me or direct me to get the information I needed. But I try to consistently show up for meetings and show up when you really don't want to speak, and you do it anyways. So our leaders will show up for us. So please show up for them. Try to get your teams to show up as well. That's kind of our job as well as sponsoring people, to guide them. They can do what they want with the information, but to steer them to the place to get the information, and then what they do with it is up to them. So customer follow-ups. So I know a lot of people break things down weekly, certain days of the week that they do things. I kind of do things as they come. Because it's not my full-time job, I have to kind of squeeze things in when I can. So in the mornings, that's when I do some of my work. So again, while I'm checking that order history, checking PRV, checking team numbers, I'm also I like to reach out to customers after they've received their packages, like a day or two later, just to follow up and, hey, did you get your stuff? Was everything good with it? Your customers are not always going to reach out to you if something's wrong. I assume they would, but they won't. I had a customer a few weeks ago order a whiff box, just followed up with her. I saw that it had been shipped or it had been delivered. I wanted to make sure everything was good with it. And it wasn't. Like, her bottle of counter clean apparently leaked all in the box. And I'm like, why didn't you reach out to me? And, no big deal, no big deal. Well, I had one ordered and shipped to her, let her pick the scent she wanted. She was thrilled. She's ordered many times from me. But just little things like that, I do on a case-by-case basis. So I don't wait till specifically Wednesday or specifically Thursday. If I have a customer reach out, I'm jumping on it as soon as I can that day or the next day. So with my business, I'm taking advantage of the times and trying to be intentional about setting time aside in the mornings and in the evenings. In between is a lost cause for me, and I'm aware of that. So that's one of the things you really have to, with your daily habits, is really know yourself when you're going to actually commit to do this work. If you're not a morning person, don't fool yourself and act like you're going to get up in the mornings and do Scentsy work. You have to do what works for you if you want to grow your business. So those are the things I do like every single day. They're pretty simple. Everybody should be doing majority of that. But what I have found is it really works. Like, if you are consistent, I guess that would be the key word. If you're consistent with posting, you're consistent with checking numbers, customer follow-ups and all that. And then on a weekly basis, of course, continuing with those customer follow-ups, I do send a customer email every Sunday night. So I go live in my daughter, Haley, is like my little Scentsy sidekick. So she and I try to go live every Sunday night in our in our Scentsy page, our VIP page. Look, I haven't been looking at the comments, but I saw Chelsea. Love her. Thank you. She's a mess, but she loves jumping on live every Sunday night. So I run with it. I don't always like jumping on live, but we, again, consistently do that every single week. Yesterday was my birthday, so we got home late from dinner, did not want to jump on, wanted to just chill for the rest of the night. And Haley's like, we got to do it. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we jumped on, but like, the people on the page expect it. So set those standards, be consistent, and then follow through. And the going live has been a really big thing for our business. We get a lot of interaction. A lot of people do jump on every single week. So it's been great. And then of course, samples, not just making samples, but getting them out the door. If you are sitting on your samples, you're wasting your time. Get them out the door, get them in people's hands. Checking in with teamies, doing that weekly. I've been blessed with the team that I have, that they are really self-sufficient. They really run with things. They train themselves, but I am here checking in with them weekly, and they know they can reach out to me for questions. But this page, Simply Grace and Grit, has been awesome. And so I'm not hand holding them, which has really been a blessing. They're putting out numbers too. So grateful for that, but I'm still trying to stay far enough away to let them figure their own paths out, but also be available at the drop of a hat. Booking parties, join conversations, and trainings. Those are every day, all week. Like when that opportunity presents itself, definitely doing that. And then the last thing that I try to do weekly, and I saw it on, again, like I've got the printout of different daily habits that people have, is connecting with people personally on social media when it has nothing to do with Scentsy. Like being intentional about that, building those relationships. That has worked for me. Like I didn't want to come off fake, like reaching out to people, but especially those people that have joined my VIP page. I try to hit them on their personal pages. Again, nothing related to Scentsy, and I've had several people just order just by catching up with them, and oh, I didn't know you did Scentsy, I need to restock or whatever. So just being intentional about building relationships outside of Scentsy. So I know as my business grows and my team grows that I will have to make adjustments. And that's why I hope to be doing this full time one day, because I do love the flexibility that we each get to do our own thing and we can all be successful with it. There's so many here tonight that can testify to that. But it's super hard work. There's no doubt. But super, super grateful for all of you that have paved and are paving the way for us coming behind you. And I know I've heard several actually SSDs and some trainings talk about how you will never reach a point in your business where you're just like, I got it all figured out and everything works perfectly. Like it's just not going to happen. COVID's going to happen, or gas is going to hit $4 a gallon and higher for you guys across the country. But life's going to happen, moves, things completely out of our control. But we can work this business, make adjustments as needed, and that's going to be different for all of us. So just want to close with, I know a lot of this is just the same things, the same basic things that we all, again, should be doing. But I just want to mention that word consistently. Like all of these things, as basic as they may be, or as time consuming as they may be, you have to be doing them consistently. Doing evaluations of yourself and your business and figuring out what's working and what's not working. So if you are a pen and paper person, use your pen and paper. Like if you are all about Amy, use Amy. So I did the trial run when I first signed up. At that time, I didn't mesh with it. So I am kind of a combo, pen and paper, but also getting things in Excel and Google Docs and things like that. My goal is to eventually give Amy another try. But again, that's the beauty. Everybody does what works for them. If you're being consistent and you are actually putting action behind your daily habits, you're bound to be successful. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but if you're putting action behind those, your business is going to grow. And just, yeah, if you've tried things that aren't working, don't keep doing them. Like, change what you're doing. Reach out to your leaders, reach out to other people on this team. Everyone is so helpful. What Whitney was talking about earlier about putting those blinders on, that's something I struggled with and still do at times. It's hard not to see someone else and like, dang, how are they putting up those numbers? And how are they sponsoring somebody left and right? If you are building a foundation that is strong and you're being consistent, you're going to see that growth, and you're really going to look back and be like, holy moly, like the numbers are going to slowly just continue to build. That's where I'm at with my team. We are trying to build a strong foundation, trying to build it wide and get those numbers, because you can have a huge team and people that aren't putting up numbers, which is fine. Like Whitney said, there's room for everybody here, but to really grow your business, you've really got to invest your time in those people that also want it as bad as you do. So remember, your business comes first, your PRV, your customers, and your team. If you don't have your own business squared away, you cannot lead anyone else. So every single month, we all start back at zero. Get your business squared away. Have a plan, be front loading. Like, you cannot lead others if you can't get your own business under control. Do the little things consistently and put the action behind it. Our leaders can see our numbers, so we can tell them all day long what we're doing, but they see our numbers. So show up, put the work in, and then show up for your leaders, and I promise they're going to show up for you. So that's all I got, y'all. I know I squirreled a lot and it's kind of all over the place, but just be consistent and show up for your leaders. That's the main thing I got for you. So
no, you did not squirrel. So good. I took lots of notes, y'all. This is information and stuff that y'all know I'm not good at saying things nicely. How do I say this? We do the same thing every month in our business. I say this a lot. We do the same thing in our business. Every single month we do the same thing. Some things we're going to focus on a little bit more. Some things we're going to focus on a little bit less. But we are going to sell. We're going to do the 3 legs. We're going to sell, we're going to sponsor, and we're going to train if we're a leader. Okay. How we do those things are going to change. How easy those things for us are going to change. How it affects our business is going to change. But when it comes down to it, I wrote down literally while she was talking at the beginning, bones, because what she was sharing of what she does every single day, she said, non-negotiable. This is what I do every single day. Those are the bones to her business. Her VIP people, y'all, her VIP page is popping. Okay. I look at her VIP page almost every day because I'm like, yes, girl, I see you. She goes live every Sunday. I try and watch it at least a little bit every Sunday. I see her there without fail. She's there. And her customer, if I notice that with all the Cincy groups I'm in, I guarantee you her customers notice it. Okay. So a lot of times we'll have people say, I feel like I've asked everybody, or I feel like I've shared, or I've done this, or I've done that. But the thing is, with what Ashley shared tonight, she shared a lot of different things, but she does all of those things consistently. And when you're doing all those little things consistently, they're going to add up to the big things, right? So when your customers know that, they're not going to have to wonder where you are. They're not going to wonder if you're still doing Cincy. Go look at your VIP page. Go look at your personal page. Go look at your stories. When's the last time you shared something? Y'all, I went through some of y'all's pages the other day and y'all hadn't shared Cincy in weeks. And then you wonder why you don't have new customers. That's easy, right? Easy math to figure out. I'm not using social media to my advantage, right? Checking your workstation. That's something that we talk about, but we don't really talk about. That is the bones of your business. That workstation is your handbook to your business. Everything you need without Simply Grace and Grit, without any other leaders groups, without any Cincy groups, you can run a business off your workstation. Everything you need to know, have to know is there. We have trainings, we have marketing tab, we have news tab, we have, I mean, it is full of years and years and years. Talk about a good resource, right? And that's the other thing that, you know, we talk about compliance, we talk about updated resources for us. That's why you'll never see me make a resource of resources. Why? Because the workstation is your resource. That is where you need to go to check. You don't know an answer, check the workstation. You don't know how tall a woman is, look at your website, right? So those two things literally is what you need. But when she said checking your workstation, looking at your order history tab, right? Like, you don't have a follow-up system, start with your order history tab, right? I even do that sometimes still when I'm in a hunk and I feel like I've already followed up with everybody. I'll go back and I'll say, okay, well, when was my last like really, really big month? I'm going to go and message every single person that ordered that month. Okay. That's not really my follow-up system, because my follow-up system is Amy, but even sometimes Amy can miss those in between people where it's like, I followed up with them, but they didn't answer. And, you know, they reacted to my post and it just sparks that conversation. Right. The PSL, that's actually something newer that Cincy has started when everything with COVID started, you know, going on back order or being delayed. Like, that's a huge resource. And a lot of even leaders will get into the habit of not doing these little things, not posting in their VIP page, not posting on their personal page, not posting on their stories, not sharing, not sending those customer emails weekly, not sending one email and not getting a reply and being like, oh, I'm not doing that again. Didn't work. Nope, not for me. No, right? Your SSD is telling you to send emails. We have a star consultant here telling you to do emails. We have directors that tell you to send emails. Send the emails consistently for 2 months and see what you get, right? We're not trying one thing and just being like, oh, that doesn't work for me. I don't like it. It doesn't reach anyone. No one reads it. We have to have that consistent action in what we're doing in our business. Okay. And I always like to tell people too, like with your daily habits, Ashley said it, like we have so many resources. We have the power hour. She went through all of them. There's just so many options that you can go in and use that as a base for your daily actions. My actions aren't going to be your actions. I do the daily and monthly checklist, but this is more of, like it is a check sheet, but it's not something I go to every day and say, okay, I got to do that check. No, I have to think, like, I'm so used to some of my things on my daily list that I can do half of my daily list in 10 minutes, right? Post in VIP page, post in Simply Grace and Grit, follow up, send my team email, and send welcome emails. That's Monday, right? That's my daily task for a Monday. Is that all I do on a Monday? No, because our businesses are always evolving. There's always something to do. Part of my daily task is my notes in my phone. I have a Cincy to do list in my phone. It's always evolving. It's always prioritized, literally in sections of what I need to do. All the time at the top of the to-do is to book 2 parties. Because if I don't have my minimum of 4 parties the next month, it stays on the top until I have that, right? And sometimes I don't have 4 parties going into a month. Let's be completely honest, because it's not always going to be perfect. You're not always going to be like, I have my daily and monthly tasks and I've done everything I need to do. Some of my most successful months come from front loading and having those daily and monthly tasks situated and squared away, but not always. So it really does just go back to the bones. I wrote down for my notes, your tasks are yours. And Ashley hit on that too. The way that I do my system, my daily task in my business to make sure that I get things done is I literally wrote down every single thing I did for 2 weeks, probably longer than that. And it was super messy, and it still gets changed almost every month of something I put in or something I take out for my daily or monthly. Okay. In my monthly, I have it broken down from beginning, mid, and end. And that is really like almost more, I don't want to say more important, but that's really what keeps me on task, or my monthly tasks, to be honest with you. Okay. Just because my daily tasks are already so ingrained. But your tasks are yours. Go through working your business. If you go through your business and you don't have anything written down, or you just have a few things written down, you're not working your business. Okay. We have to stop waiting for someone to come to do the work for us. If you want to work, if you want to do the things, if you want to have high PRV, if you want to sponsor people, we have to stop waiting for someone to come and do it for us. It's not going to happen. You have to put in the work for your business. Okay. And all of that was centered around the 3 legs. Once again, everything is going to be centered around the 3 legs. I talked about at the beginning about putting blinders on with your task. What gives you success? What doesn't? It's not trying it once and not doing it ever again. It's actually putting the blinders on, putting the work in, putting the consistency in. And just know too that even last week, I think we get really caught up with what people are doing, or maybe even what directors and above are doing. But just last week in the SSD page, one of the SSDs said, when you finally get into the habit of not dropping everything you're doing to try what someone else is doing, that's when you know you've really changed your path, because you're focused on you. You're not like, oh, she's doing this, like, let's go try that. No, maybe when you have time, or maybe when you've done everything that you need to do in your business, sure. But because it's almost like human nature, where you're like, oh, that's such a cute graphic. Let me print that off real quick and put it on all the things I'm about to send out, right? That's not putting your blinders on, right? So staying consistent in your daily task. The beauty of the business is that we can work our business in 20 minutes a day and still be successful in our business if we're intentional with that time on the important things, right? So that's part of putting your blinders on too. Just know that it doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to, be something that's really set in stone. Know that it took me 2 years to have a system that I could show my team, to say, this is what my daily and monthly tasks look like. And, hearing Ashley say, like, it's here, right, is so important, right? It's in her mind. She's successful at what she does. And then part of being a leader is really figuring out, okay, how can someone replicate my success? And that's more towards the leadership side of daily and monthly tasks. And that's something that she said she's working on. She's trying to figure out what works for her, but y'all have to realize that what she's doing is working in her business. Okay. So it doesn't have to look like check sheet like mine. It doesn't have to look like a power hour like Cynthie's. Doesn't have to look a certain way. It has to feel a certain way to you. Okay. And not just comfortable, because we're not doing comfortable, but it has to be something that is replicatable for yourself, something that you can do consistently over and over, and get it done. Right. So just know that we're all going to work it differently. Right? I said at the beginning, we're all at different parts in our business. We all have different volumes of our business, of our teams, of our customers, of what we offer our customers, of how many parties we do. But then you also have to have that self-reflection where if you're looking for something like, let's say, more PRV, but you're not partying, but then you're like, oh, but I don't do parties. You have to have the self-awareness to be like, okay, well, maybe I should try parties if I need more PRV and I don't do parties, right? So we have to have that self-awareness in our business, that when you're ready to grow, or when you're wanting to grow, you have to actually put that action in and do something differently and change it up, right? Because like I said, we do the same thing every single month, but it really is just figuring out how it can work in your schedule, how it can be most effective in your business and what your goals are, and not trying to do what, I do with a team of 900, you do with a team of 2, right? It's not going to be the same. It's just not, and it doesn't need to be the same. That's part of our business and growing and evolving in our business, that what I did 2 years ago is not what I'm doing now daily and monthly, even in my personal business, just because the volume is just so different, right? So give yourself some grace with these, but also put the action in. And there's a fine line between those two, where people are like, oh, I'm gonna give myself grace and I'm not gonna work today. No, that's not what that means, actually. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's give ourselves grace that maybe we did slack off yesterday, but we're going to put the work in tomorrow. Or maybe we did slack off today, but we're going to put those daily and monthly tasks in check and start using them in our business. You got anything? Are you good? Oh, you said, do you want to talk about that or no?
You want me to?
Sure.
I was just kind of taking a step back and looking at like the larger like system of systems and like how it all works together. Really just starting with your why and then figuring out how does that into what your end state is? What do you want to achieve in your business? Then identifying those short-term goals and using those daily habits to measure your performance along those as you go. And then keeping track and assessing as you go and adjust, because it's going to change. Your why is going to change. Your end state is going to change. But really those mid-level kind of goals, what you're trying to achieve, will keep you on track.
Yeah. So like a person who their why is not necessarily to grow their business or grow their team. I shouldn't say grow their business, but they're not really interested in a large team, then they're not going to have so much focus in their daily and monthly task on sponsoring. They're going to be more focused on sales. And depending on what their why is with their sales or why they want those sales, that's going to look different too for their daily and monthly task and even how much they put into it. Right. And that's where that self-awareness comes in. So always keeping that why in the back of your mind for sure. Thank you so much, Ashley. That was amazing. I really hope that y'all, keep it. Someone said it, KISS. It depends who you ask what it means, but keep it silly. Keep it simple. Silly is the nice way to say it. But that really is what this is. Simply grace and grit. I named it that for a reason because this business is I'm not going to say easy, but it is simple. Okay. It's not the same thing, right? Alrighty. So thank you all for being on tonight. Katrina reminded me that March 23rd, 5:30 Pacific time, Cincy is doing an inside look at Cincy. So they're going to be giving us just a special look on what our business about or what is Cincy about. And it's going to be having people from home office and maybe a few other people presenting on giving people that are interested in joining that extra special look. So definitely suggest y'all tuning in on that. That is also on your workstation. So our next meeting is April 11th, and Katrina Anderson is going to be our quote guest speaker, even though she's not a guest. No one's a guest speaker on here because y'all are all part of the family, but she is going to be speaking next month. So April 11th, 8:30 Eastern, mark your calendars. Thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. And I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a wonderful night, guys. Bye.